Programming 301, Lesson 13 Intro. So in Lesson 13, we're going to be working with clones. Clones are when you make an exact copy of an actor or an object in a game. We will do this for making copies of our fireballs, bullets, which are lasers in this game, enemies. So let's look at some of the blocks that we're going to need. We're going to need the create clone of block. It makes a clone of the actor specified inside of this block. Once the clone has been created, the behavior of the clone then is coded under the clone startup block. So you need to create a clone first, and then what you want the clone to do shows up here under clone startup. So let's take a look at the code blocks for the zombie. It says when actor clicked, create clone of self. And then the clone, once it's been created, will repeat 50 times. It'll go to the run costume, move 10 pixels, if on edge bounce, and do that little wait, and then it will delete itself when it hits the edge. The delete clone is used to get rid of that piece of code. You don't want the project to have a million clones in it. You want them to be removed when they're not needed anymore. It just clutters up the project, and it also can make it run really slowly. So if we click on this, it'll make a clone of that. And every time we click on it right now, it's going to make a clone of those zombies. And once it does the 50, it will disappear. All right, so in this lesson, you're going to be doing a couple different things. I'm going to show you some spots that might get tricky. This first one is pretty easy. You're just going to use the create clone of self. And when you create that clone of self, then you're going to code the fireball to then move across the screen. This is going to allow you to have multiple fireballs that shoot out. That one's pretty simple. Cloning the enemy is also pretty simple. We're going to clone multiple planes to come at you. Every 3 seconds, a new plane will be created. This one, again, is just going to be pulling the blocks over and putting them in order. Just be careful to put them in the right order. The helicopter dogfight is tricky, really tricky, actually. The code for it is a little bit more involved than they let on, so I'm going to just explain it so you can refer back to it. So you're going to need an on start and the clone startup. And on the on start, you're going to want a forever loop that checks to see if the key space bar is pressed. And when it is, it's going to create a clone of the fireball and then wait 1 second before creating another one. Under the clone startup, you're going to want to go to dragon and then point in direction of the dragon. Move 100 pixels and then show the fireball. Then you can start looking at the if touching edge, and that should actually be inside of a forever loop. Like I said, this one's really involved. Inside the forever loop, moving 10 pixels because we want the fireball to move. If touching edge, get rid of that clone. And then don't forget to have that little bit of a wait in here for the 0.01 seconds so that it looks like it's moving across the screen. But then again, on this, you need a forever loop, and then if spacebar is pressed, create a clone of the fireball, and then wait 1 second. You're going to create an attacker game, and the attacker game is making enemy helicopter clones and then helicopter fire lasers towards the dragon. Which ones are tricky in here? None of these were tricky. They give you all the code in this one. It's super easy. But the 2-player battle is a little tricky. So in this one, I will tell you, they don't put you on the correct plane. So when you're going to first go and drag out these blocks to put them into the plane 1 because you're going to program the left plane, which is plane 1. Then it has you go here. It puts you on plane 2, but you shouldn't be. You got to go back to plane 1, and you need to add this one to the S and this one to the W. They put them backwards. So the W should have the 10 pixels. Oh, no, I'm wrong. Right here. In here. Negative 10 pixels. And this one will have the 10 pixels because it can't hit these trees. It has to be able to move back from there. And then it just has you do the clone startup. Pretty simple. And that's it for this. It's a pretty, oh, there's more to it. You have to do the forever and then all the shooting parts to it and deleting the clone. But it's pretty easy. They give you all the code in here that you need. The last thing you need to do is the quiz, and that's it.